Yesterday, we brought you the story of an entire town that's been placed under quarantine. Kliprand in Matsikama is in COVID isolation after 30 new infections were detected in the last 7 days. And this may not seem like a lot, but the town only has a population of 250 residents. And they've been struggling to survive under strict lockdown regulations. This week, Gift of the Givers stepped in to help. And for more on this, let's cross to our reporter, Natalie Malchus. Natalie, thank you so much. Where exactly are you and how did you get there?
Well, I'm back in Cape Town at the moment, Annika, but yesterday we saw Gift of the Givers rolling into this community. As you mentioned, it doesn't sound like many cases, but the community is really small, only about 63 households, all of whom are struggling, all following these stay-home orders because they're either in isolation, infected with COVID-19, or in quarantine because they are a person under investigation or a close contact of someone who has contracted the virus. So everyone's had to stay home for a very long time. The local food, soup kitchen, the local grocers, all were closed for several days, leaving them stranded. And right on brand, humanitarian aid group Gift of the Givers rolled in with care packs, COVID care packs, that included masks and sanitizer, also tablets, zinc tablets and vitamin C supplements, and then a food hamper that could last them for about a month so that they can survive, even for those who won't be able to leave their homes for several days still.
And I suppose, Natalie, that children are missing out on school, people aren't getting paid, it's a largely rural farming area. It's pretty devastating for an entire town to be locked down.
Western Cape Health says it's unsurprising that the community transmission had taken hold in this community so easily, given its proximity to the Northern Cape that's already in the grips of a third wave. And they will continue their surveillance in this area because they don't want, obviously, any further cases to come out of this particular community and others along the West Coast and, of course, around the greater Western Cape area. But as you mentioned, many of these residents are no longer working. We heard from one resident, Sanita Ward, who actually left her job in Langebaan to come and care for her mom, who had been diagnosed with chronic bronchitis and pneumonia and died of COVID-19 a few days ago. 2 more funerals are being planned for later this week. So the community is reeling. They're struggling with just simply staying alive and trying to survive, but then also seeing many of their neighbors and friends falling ill.
Natalie, I mean, as I'm sure you spoke to people there, what was the feeling like on the ground of an entire town in quarantine and having no contact with the outside world?
It's really quite remarkable, at the same time as having very real-life challenges of trying to beat this stealthy coronavirus. They're really remarkable. They're remarkable in that they are hopeful. They are confident that they will beat this virus, that they will once again be able to mingle with their loved ones, go back to work and get life up and running again as per usual. In fact, some of them were even optimistic of getting that vaccine. The vaccine program should have been rolled out last week, but the Western Cape Health Department has suspended that. In fact, they've pushed it back until the end of this month to give those over 60s who have contracted the virus time to recover. So there's a lot of hope on the ground, Annika. They are confident they're going to kick this bug and they're going to get vaccinated, which of course is a good message to tell.
Natalie Malchus, thank you so much for going out there for us. Natalie has just come back from a small town that is entirely locked down and in quarantine because of the spread of COVID-19 in that community. So let's think about them and also thank the Gift of the Givers for all the care packs that they've managed to get to that community.